So, hello everyone, welcome to a new game that I'm going to try and add to this channel. And I'm going to change a few things here before we go on. And hopefully you like it. It's a choices game, and it's kind of new. Options, languages and subtitles. Language English, subtitle size, okay. Everything seems to be okay. Easy controls, key bindings. Yes. I'm going if I need, I'll just turn on the volume. Let's see how this goes. That's good that I remembered messing with this. Actually, I'm going to lower the music even more because I don't know how YouTube would take this. Okay, new game. Yes, I completed the game already, but as it is a choices game, things might happen differently if you choose different things. Just like games like Heavy Rain, um, Detroit Become Human, Until Dawn, and other games like this. But this is kind of a mystery kind of game. Well, you'll see it. Let's set active slots. New game. Let's do this.
The skies are finally clearing up after a light rainfall most of the afternoon. The weather's approaching 49 degrees, so we've got a brisk West Virginia evening ahead of us. Wrap up tight and settle in, folks. This is 104.3 WVCK, the Basswood Sound, and I'm your host, Carrie Hammond. Coming up after a short break, mental health expert Dr. Wick will discuss the recent opioid epidemic that's been affecting
So what happens? His friend passed passed away, and he's going back to his hometown for his wake, for his funeral. And that's the premise that we start off the game. It's a beautiful place.
Time to kill before the funeral. Might as well spend it here.
Okay, he's stalling. He really doesn't want to get there. Oh, there's
This place was always one for decisions. Somewhere for things to fall apart. Welcome back to Basswood, Sam.
restoration made possible thanks to the, sorry. Restoration made possible thanks to the generous donations of the New Virginia Coal Inc. It's a beautiful place. Very picturesque. No littering. Nope. People aren't.
I came up here every chance I could. One of the all-time great views. Really makes a small town look big.
There's trash there. See? They litter. I think that's the problem with the human race. The littering. Ooh. Let's see here. View of Basswood traveled through West Virginia. Founded in 1865, the small mining town quickly grew along with the coal industry. At its peak, Basswood produced more coal than any other town in West Virginia, with the Basswood mine being one of the most consistent coal mines in the U.S. Basswood is also a wonderful place to simply let nature be nature outside of the Appalachian Trail with its hundreds of miles of hiking trails. Closed. Basswood sucks. Perfect example of the true West Virginian way of life, Basswood is both a reminder of its past and a glimpse into a bright future. So something happened in this little town, and that's what we are going to find out. Let's
I'm not sure Nick would even want me at his funeral, given how I left things.
so leave this town with no.
I remember spending entire summers on the banks fishing with Nick. My hometown. It felt more imposing in my nightmares. Strange to think of Basswood without its mine.
I think that's wow. I made all that effort. Okay. Let's see if there's something else here.
Kids hung out here all the time. Not that I was ever invited. Or wanted to go.
Oh, I think they put that around the fire.
You'd think the massive cliff face would be a giveaway.
Fall hazard. But that's humans, right? You have to actually put signs as, oh, cliff ahead.
I get the feeling it still sees some use, given how bad the coverage is up here.
West Virginia's scenic mountain forests are home to deer, flying squirrels, red foxes, field mice, rabbits, and cave bats, among other animals. Bobcats, wild boars, and even black bears are being seen all over the state. Even very remote farmsteads have occasionally sighted eastern cougar, puma, concolor on prowl. Here are the animals.
These trails were great to walk if you wanted to feel truly alone. Some of these species are endangered. She wrote an article about it.
She?
Hunting is another tradition I could never get behind. Just don't see the appeal.
Totally agree. When hunting, can review any of all required permits and licenses. Not hunt while under the influence of alcohol. That's a given. Hunting is forbidden between half an hour after sunset, half an hour before sunrise.
A lot of people were upset when it closed, but not upset enough to fix it.
Oh, I see why. Some trees kind of collapsed. Fix it, someone have to bring heavy machinery to cut off this tree, move the rocks away, stuff.
I left a sandwich in it for a whole week once. Dad never let me forget it.
Keep hikers and hunters safe from bears. Oh my.
I used to love looking at basswood from up here. Helped give me perspective. Until that day.
What happened? Something really serious happened. Wow. This is at least here where I live, there is a place where there are dangerous places like this that exactly like this, and people will gather around there on top of this place, of this kind of plateau, and they drink, and it's so stupid. More often than not, they end up falling and dying.
Why can't the real world be as clear and peaceful as my own mind? Even if it does mean nothing stays hidden in here. Not even me.
just like Sherlock. I need to adjust the volume of everything. Because I feel like I'm competing with the game sounds. And I'm sorry if it was back. I'm kind of new at this. Let's go. Okay.
I've been meaning to ask you something. Don't freak out. Would you be my little girl's godfather? I wouldn't trust anyone else with this.
And yet I stopped taking his calls. He even called once the day before he died. I'll never know what he wanted to talk to me about.
What a shitty friend. Let me see if it's the same.
I've been meaning to ask you something. Don't freak out. Would you be my little girl's godfather? I wouldn't trust anyone else with this.
Yeah, just it's the same.
And yet I stopped taking his calls. He even called once the day before he died. I'll never know what he wanted to talk to me about.
This is Anna. She works freelance. Does a lot of the human interest pieces.
What can I say? I'm interested in humans and their pieces. What do you like to write?
I gotta run to a review with Walt. You two feel free to chit-chat. And Sam, be nice.
I had never met someone so interested in others, even in me.
Okay, what I said about Sherlock is if you watch the BBC Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch, he would go to his mind palace, which is it would be something like this, at least in my mind it would.
The story is important. You know I think that. It's just... people around here have short tempers and long memories. Be careful. Sam, are you even listening to me?
I heard you, Anna. But no, I wasn't listening.
So, something he did.
Come on, Anna, look at this.
What is it? Someone skinny dipping?
Anna, you really need to see this.
I can't even see. Something's blocking it. Sam, what are you doing?
I'm trying to be romantic.
What? Wait. Please don't tell me you're proposing.
I'm down on one knee, a ring. What else would I be doing? You look like I just ran over your grandma. Okay, the silence is really starting to scare me now. Anna, please say something.
Sam, put that away. Come on. I don't want a ring. I don't need a ring. You should know that. We've discussed it before.
happy. She was the one brave enough to face that. Lost in my head again. How much time did I miss?
Decided to take a walk on the promontory. For Nick's funeral, I thought I wasn't ready to face Bestwood again, but the past is already pulling me back in. My memories are so vivid, it's as if I'd never left. I take a walk on the promontory, remember that night at Spyglass, turn to the Kai, wasted enough time. Yeah, as if the game gave me any choice anymore.
I missed the funeral. Maybe it's for the best. On the bright side, Nick's not alive for me to let him down again. Sorry, Walter, but I don't think I'll stick around. Given up already? Just a quick, depressing jaunt down memory lane and then you're gone? I know you think that the only thing waiting for you down there is hurt. Lots of hurt. And you might be right. But it's been 2 years. It's time to face the world. Time to adult. The good news, though, at least you don't have to do it alone.
Beautiful place. Stuck in traffic. What traffic?
Lost the signal. Some things never change.
Okay. Next door. Can't imagine what she's going through.
Muley, you actually came.
It's been a while. You've gotten taller.
Can we talk?
We're talking right now.
It's cold.
So,
You left.
Joan, that's not fair.
You left.
That's
I don't really want to talk about this right now.
You don't want to talk about this? What are you, my age?
I'm not here for very long. I don't want to fight about the mistakes I've made.
Well, My dad died. I'm angry, and I want to fight about it.
I don't. And it takes two people to fight.
You're a jerk, and I'm gonna talk about it. It's been hard. My mom's been distant, even before all of this. I wish my dad was still here. I wish kids in class liked me. I wish you hadn't left. I wish a lot of things.
Well, I don't know how much me staying would have helped.
You're the only one around here that doesn't treat me like a kid.
You are a kid.
Doesn't mean I like to be treated like one. Listen, I wanted to talk to you about what happened to Dad. It doesn't make sense. He wouldn't have just crashed. He drove like a grandma, you know that. It's wrong. I don't buy it.
I'm just in town for the funeral, Joan. I'm not a PI or a cop.
You're the closest thing I can talk to. Will you just look into it, Muley? Please?
She wants her father's death to mean something. But where does that lead? What if it leads to the truth? That could change everything. An hour ago, you wanted to run away. Now you want to start another investigation? A few questions won't hurt anyone. Just tonight. To reassure her. And myself. This is a wake. If you poke around, people may end up poking back. Okay, whatever you do, at least leave the kid out of it. It would be cruel to lead her on. Friends don't lie to each other, even if it means disappointing her again. It's your call.
Is that his conscience? Keep her out of it.
I wish it didn't happen too, Bug, but sometimes life just isn't fair.
I thought he meant something to you, too.
He did mean something to me. He was my best friend. But you can't fix this by trying to force pieces that don't fit together.
Whatever. I'm tired. If my mom asks, tell her I went home.
He looks depressed. I don't know. Another one? My gosh. Okay.
Might as well talk to Walter. I'll have to sooner or later. Whoever said you can judge someone by their car never met Tara. Some of the police force stopped by, which means most of the police force stopped by.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, the cat food is under the sink. Yes, yes it is, Mother. Trust me. Oh, Samuel is here. I'll call you back. Samuel Higgs, as I live and breathe. Has it really been over 2 years? Regardless, I'm so glad you finally made it. It's good to see you. What kept you?
A trip down memory lane. I missed the funeral, but I made it to Nick's wake.
You have to bring it in for a hug. It's a Basswood back in town requirement. So good to see you. Even if I wish the circumstances were different. In times like these, we need the comforting touch of others. At least I do. Also, have you spoken to Anna lately?
No, why?
No reason. If you get the chance, we should catch up. We should really catch up. I'll see you inside.
I'm not ready for this. Here we go.
Mr. Samuel Higgs, big shot investigative reporter.
Didn't think you'd ever be back in here.
I'd gladly slash your tires, but that mean you couldn't leave town. And you are leaving town right after this, right?
Just really embracing those hick stereotypes, huh, Joel?
Gentlemen. We get you good old boys another round.
Mighty kind of you, Declan.
You're not worth it, Higgs. Making friends already, I see.
Declan, been a while.
Hey, careful. I'd rather not be working tonight. And you always seem to angry up everyone's blood.
Joel started it. I was just standing here.
Well, he started it, and if you push him, he'll finish it. You watch yourself.
I think it's time I go put up a photo at the memorial board. That's what people do, right? Declan lacks subtlety, but he loves this town like no one else. Old-timers in general already don't like me, and the article just made it worse.
Okay.
That's where Nick and I sat every time he dragged me out for drinks after work.
Sammy! Oh, it's been ages.
Tara?
Oh, me? I've had this stomach thing lately, always churning. And this thing with Nick, his car went up like a Sunday ham. He burned alive, you know. Have you met Hugh? He took over the old pharmacy just after you left.
No.
The infamous Sam. I've read that article you wrote on the mine. You must have put in a lot of legwork on that.
It isn't something I talk about, especially here.
Understandable. Maybe some other time. Don't hesitate to drop by the pharmacy sometime.
Oh, and Sam, you...
But for now, I have a feeling you're not here for us.
Oh, right. Don't be a stranger, Sam.
Should I have brought flowers? Do people expect me to? There was no love lost between Kathy and Nick since their divorce, but anyone can see she's taking his death hard. Kathy,
Sam, you actually came. You got some nerve. Joan texted me. Says she already went home after you upset her.
I was just... I don't know.
Look, Joan was really hurt when you left town. Nick and I were never close after the breakup, and Joan's never had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Maybe don't break her heart this time when you leave town. All right?
Your daughter thinks Nick's crash doesn't make sense.
She's a little girl who lost her father. She's confused right now. Don't you go encouraging her, or worse, putting those thoughts in her head. I frankly thought you knew better.
Do you think she has a point?
I think you should stay away from her.
Yeah, people are not very friendly to me.
Sorry we lost touch. Sorry I lost touch. Rest up, big guy. This photo always looked weird. Nick could never keep a straight face. Happier times. I wonder who took that picture. Look at us. He was more her best friend than a dad. Those two were a great team. Bug was so small back then. We drove straight to the sea after work on a Friday. Hell of a weekend.
Samuel, guess I lost the bet.
Bet?
Yeah, that bet you'd never come back to Basswood? Not after you went careening out of town like a bat out of hell the instant that article broke bad.
Okay, I'll bite. Tell me, Dennis, who did you have a standing bet with?
Myself. So I guess I also won.
What are you even doing here, Dennis? You and Nick become friends or something?
Nope. He thought I was a drunk, which I am. And I thought he was a hack, which he was.
This coming from the IT guy. Didn't know resetting passwords could give you a journalism degree.
It can. But it does give me less patience for people who sling mud my way. Relax. I'm just playing. At least tell me how you been.
Don't pretend you care.
Yeah, like you'd care.
Not too much. But suit yourself if you want to be like that. Anyway, cheers to Nick. A man that, unlike us, people actually liked. Speaking of which...
As time draws near, my dearest dear, when you and I must part, how little you know of the grief and woe in my poor aching heart. 'Tis but I suffer for your sake. Believe me, dear, that's true. I wish that you were staying here.
Talk to Anna, attend the wake. Let's...
But no more than 3,000...
Bess always had a soft spot for Nick. I think she liked his work ethic.
That's what crooked pharmacists want you to be. But that amount is damaging in the long term.
Pretty courageous of him to try his luck in Basswood, given the state of things.
Okay.
Anna used to play it almost every night. She stopped after her father's accident.
Used by garage bands. Ethan tries to support the local scene.
There was no love lost between Kathy and Nick since their divorce, but anyone can see she's taking his death hard.
Oh. Anyway, I'll just talk to Anna. Oh. I'll talk to Anna and then walk up to the jukebox. Oh.
Can't believe this whole thing's still working.
Okay, what is it?
Nick and I spent so much money on this machine.
Pac-Man. Okay, let's talk to Hannah.
Has it really been 2 years since I saw her? She hasn't changed a bit. Anna?
Sam! Sorry. Old habits. Why'd it take so long for you to darken my doorstep?
I won't lie, it really hurt coming back. I stopped by Lookout Point on the way here.
Sam, why'd you do that to yourself?
A desire to open old wounds? The old-timers gave me hell when I came in, too.
People around here have short tempers,
And long memories.
but most of them mean well. Sam, the mine was gonna close anyways. Maybe in a year or 2, 5, if the Lord has a sense of humor. It was gonna run dry or have an even bigger disaster. It wasn't your fault.
I wish everyone else understood that.
People are scared. Mad. You were easy to blame. When my father lost his legs, nobody knew the mine wasn't following regulations. You were the only one who started asking questions. Whenever people talk about you, he always says, you did the right thing.
Yeah, well, your dad's Joe. He's an oak. Unmoving and annoyingly supportive.
It wasn't just him. Nick thought your piece was great. He was actually jealous. He always wanted to write something that shook the pillars of heaven, as he used to put it. You know, Nick and I had moved in together. Started to get serious. But I think it's only now I realize how much I cared for him.
Wait.
You and Nick started going out? When did this happen?
A few months ago, he never told you? He asked me to let him be the one to say something. You two had been so close.
He probably tried. I hadn't been answering his calls.
Ah. That's the worst part, right? Anything broken just stays broken now. But this was all nice. The funeral, the wake. Walter did a good job. But it all just makes me feel heavy. It makes my heart hurt. Like Nick's memory has been laid on top of me and I'm still carrying him.
Was Nick murdered?
Nick's death. Do you know if he had any enemies? Working on anything dangerous? Whew. Now this is a real can of worms.
This is a wake.
I know that.
Do you? This isn't the time to be digging and pushing. You always do this. You always... I get it. I just... You're still you, huh? You'll always still be you, Sam. I hope you never change, but I can't handle this right now. I'm gonna go home. I hate that his stuff is all over my house. Then drink and cry all night. You do what you need to do. See you around.
Wrong thing to say.
Samuel, come. Have a round with me.
I need a drink or two. Or 3. And then I'll go.
It's the guy who got the mine closed.
I can't believe he showed up after what happened.
I didn't know
Walter
you read
can be
Dickens
overwhelming
either.
at times. But he means well.
Not really. You just quoted him a couple of times and I thought it sounded good. So, Nick wasn't drunk, and me? I was drunk as a skunk.
Ah, Samuel. Samuel, join us. We were just sharing stories about dear Nicholas. And let me get your next round. Maybe Ethan has a suggestion for a worthy spirit?
Ah, spirits? Oh, no. Friends drink beer.
Yes, I suppose that's fitting. To dear Nicholas.
Yeah, he'd been coming in a lot lately. Sat right there. With a bad dad joke or two.
With friends, I guess? Maybe Anna.
Well, by himself with his laptop as his date.
He never drank alone.
You two were close, though, right? Tell me about the man outside the bar.
He had a terrible memory. Couldn't remember names, dates, passwords. Kept his notes squirreled around him like a hoard.
He got married young and had a kid. Then broke up and dated my ex. And they were happy. In love. Anna clearly cared about him a lot.
Oh, my boy, you can't compare lives. Just like you can't compare pain. They just simply are. The friend of man, the friend of truth. The friend of age, and guide of youth. Few hearts like his with virtue warmed. Few hearts with knowledge so informed. If there's another world, he lives in bliss. If there is none, he made the best of this.
Burns. That from your eulogy?
You know Robert Burns? And no, just something I keep on hand for toasts.
Well, it's a good choice. And sorry about that, Sam. I wasn't trying to bring you down.
I'm the one dwelling on these things.
Wakes get sad. Very sad. Death and drinking is a heady brew.
Still, I'm showing jealousy for a dead man. Not the best look.
Some would say being honest with yourself is the only way to honor friends. How's the family taking it?
Kathy seems haunted. Spread overly thin, and I saw Joan storming off. Kathy has a lot to deal with, now more than ever. And who can prepare for losing a parent? Not a soul. Not a single soul.
I have a bad feeling about this.
What a night! I'd say that went well. Ish. You got to chat with everyone you've been avoiding. Even if Joan got inside your head with her whole dad mystery death thing. Just shut up. Coming back to Basswood was your idea. You're the one in the driver's seat, Sam. I can't make you do anything. Deep down, you've been looking for a reason to come back. It's gonna be one of those long nights inside your head, huh? Stop pushing me. Stop always poking at me. You just won't quit. I'm trying to help. And helpful tip number 602, beer doesn't solve any of this. You're back out in the world, feeling emotions, fitting in. That's progress. Fuck the world. Pointless talking and more talking, and no one says what they mean. Go away. Let me enjoy being miserable. Just try and make sure you don't do anything stupid. No promises.
That seems to be his conscience.
stay out.
You have 10 minutes before we charge you for another day.
Oh, okay, okay. What kind of monsters have a checkout at 9? What happened last night? Oh, my head. Pills plus drinking. That was not my best idea. Did I black out or what? Ugh, I can't think straight. I need some water on my face. Clear it up. Didn't even get under the covers. Glad I even made it to the bed.
So, I think this is a good stopping point. I'll stop it here. And this is a very good game. It's kind of dark though. Most of those good selection, story-driven selection games are pretty dark. So thank you all for watching. I know it's a long video, and I'll see you next time.